Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Now, I understand you were a fan of the book before coming on board. Talk about that kismet.
I read a book in elementary school. I was bored and wanted something to read, and I saw it on the shelf. I saw this big volume, a tome, right? Wonderstruck. And I thought, okay, I'll take it off the shelf. I was immediately fascinated by it. By one simple sentence, it totally brought me in. And then to look at the way the illustrations and the story work together, how the characters' stories become one, it was really fascinating. I thought a deaf person wrote it, actually. When I read it and I saw the end, I looked who's the author, Brian Selznick, and then I looked him up online and I found out that he was hearing. I was a little bit actually shocked. I thought, how is it possible that a hearing person could understand so much about our culture and about our language? It made me feel happy, actually, that someone would actually take the time to do the research about our culture and language. I mean, he didn't have to do that, but he did do that, and it really meant something. It was really interesting to me, then, because Brian is such a nice guy, and the book is so beautiful, and the story is so amazing. And then, just like the script is as beautiful as the book, and the movie is as beautiful as all three.
Well, talking about language, here we are in a film where you really don't have the opportunity to speak, which is fantastic, actually, because you get to kind of explore these other facets of everything. But talk about the difference between a silent error type of silent to a deaf type of silent.
Okay. Well, just because someone is not, speaking, verbally, doesn't mean that they're not communicating, or they're not communicating in a language. This is the case with the American Sign Language that everyone uses in the 1970s part of the movie. Interestingly enough, in the 1920s, it is a silent film, but people are speaking verbally. So it was wonderful to sort of explore the different aspects of that kind of communication. Millie was very eloquent, I thought, today in our press conference, where she talked about understanding how hard it is to communicate with people in a hearing culture where people don't speak her language, and yet she is completely fluent and able to communicate absolutely everything. So it's like, where do you how do we manage to see one another and communicate? How can we see another culture, celebrate it, integrate it? I think this movie posits all those interesting questions.
Well, talking about the 1970s portion, you do get to share a bunch of screen time with the wonderful Tommy Noonan, who, to me, I think so many people still just relate to him just for his more sinister characters,
really?
But he's so wonderful and so sweet.
Oh,
What's it like to be
God.
with the sweet Tommy Noonan?
He's just he's a great actor. We had a really wonderful time because our entire scene takes place in American Sign Language, and neither one of us knew the language previously. So I actually emailed him and I said, listen, do you want to, can we get together and can we work on this? And he came over to my house the first day he came. It was his birthday. I got him some cupcakes. And it's so interesting. He's so wildly expressive in American Sign Language because of the size of his hands. If you notice, he's a very tall man. He has very, very large hands, and so his gestures in ASL are beautiful. And it's a different kind of communication too. I mean, I spent a lot of time with people who communicate with ASL, and one of the things that I noticed was how just the way vocal expression varies, how physical expression varies, just the way people are able to communicate through ASL.